Eastern PA Weather 30 Meteorologist Bobby Martrich with your outlook for August 29th, 2016 for your Monday. We're going to have a very weak frontal boundary that's going to be moving through and very little, if any, precipitation that's going to be accompanying it. So we're expecting for most areas to be a mostly sunny day, partly to mostly sunny, and continued hot. We're not talking about any difference in temperatures that we've had for the past several days, and we're not expecting much of a difference in temperatures up through about Wednesday. With that same ridge sitting over the eastern half of the United States. Now, that cold front that moved through was running into that ridge, so again, not really doing anything to lower temperatures here, but it will keep the humidity a little bit lower, so we are benefiting from that side of things. We go over the NAM just to see if we could see anything as far as precipitation is concerned, and there's really nothing. Here's 10 a.m., and we go to the next frame. Here's a look at 2 p.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m., not really much. Maybe an isolated shower well southwest, and this is probably out of our coverage area, but pretty close to it. So we'll keep an eye on it. Again, a less than 1 in 5 chance of a shower or thunderstorm for your Monday with that frontal boundary moving through, but you're not really going to see much of a difference other than a wind shift from northwest to north. That's pretty much it. Going forward, go to Tuesday. No chance of precipitation Tuesday. It's going to be mostly sunny. And just a fantastic day. Might be 2 degrees or so cooler, okay, for high temperatures. That's about the only change you'll see, other than the fact that it's going to be lower humidity again here on Tuesday. And then we get into Wednesday. We have a cold front that's going to be approaching from the west. There is a possibility that ahead of this cold front, let me move this back where it was. There's a possibility that ahead of this cold front, which is sitting right about here, there's a possibility there could be a prefrontal trough axis that forms out in front of it. This is not a guarantee, but if it does in fact happen, that will become the focus of showers and thunderstorms, and that would be later on Wednesday into Wednesday evening. Again, very isolated chance that this happens right now because there's really nothing showing the prefrontal trough getting going, and the precipitation along the frontal boundary isn't really that great either, okay? So we're really not expecting too much. And that will come through in the overnight, the actual frontal boundary. And you can see that here might be a shower or thunderstorm overnight, maybe very early Thursday morning. Now, the global model is a little bit more enthused here with this precipitation. That's sitting right like this. And again, that's not really that much to begin with. But the global models are more enthused than, say, the NAM model, which is not enthused at all. We get into the NAM, and we're talking about here's a look at Thursday morning, afternoon, evening. Where's Waldo? Nothing. There's nothing going on here. So we don't have anything to worry about according to the NAM as far as precipitation is concerned. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the case. So we're just going to give it allowed for at least an isolated shower. Let me get back to that image. We're going to allow for an isolated shower early on Thursday, and that's right here. There's the early Thursday look here. Especially for our south and eastern zones with that cold front. And once that moves through, high pressure that is sitting over the Great Lakes, which is right about here, is going to be moving into the area, and that's going to change the wind direction into the north, and it's going to lower humidity again. Temperatures are going to lower also. So our temperatures that were near 90 in many places will now be lowering about 10 degrees back down to the upper 70s to near 80. Okay, so that'll be when we get to probably Friday is when we start getting into that. But we will be clear behind this front. Here's later Thursday, starting to clear out here. Decreasing clouds, we'll call it here Thursday. Here's the high pressure moving in Friday. Again, north wind coming in here. It should be a very pleasant day. Probably the coolest day of this trough. There's another trough coming in behind this cold front. So the coolest day coming in for this trough is going to be here on Friday. And then Saturday will be nice also, with high pressure setting off the north. And temperatures are going to be pretty much maybe like 2 degrees or so warmer here on Saturday. And then we get into Sunday, the high pressure goes off to the east, so we start getting a return flow back out of the southwest. So that's going to increase temperatures again by late in the weekend. So as far as the holiday weekend is concerned, we're looking at dry conditions, but it will start off cooler both Friday and Saturday, moderate Sunday, and then Monday we get back to above normal temperatures. So that's how the weekend goes right now. We're not expecting any tropical storms or anything like that going to affect the weekend right now. Odds of that happening are very, very low. Not impossible, but very, very low. So less than 10% chance of that happening. So, continue to follow our forecast throughout the week, but right now it doesn't look like there's going to be anything hindering the weekend plans along the Jersey Shore. We will have earlier in the week a tropical system that's going to kind of come up by North Carolina and head out in this direction like this. It will avoid the Jersey Shore, Delaware, and Ocean City, Maryland, these points here, but it will allow for some rip currents to come in earlier from probably about Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. Will affect you with that the rip current situation. But after that, it should be okay. We're going to watch another system that's down in the Gulf, see where that goes. Might be some rip currents later in the week again, but again, no direct impacts expected for Labor Day weekend at this time. I'm Eastern PA Weather 30 meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for August 29th, 2016. Have a great Monday.